This video introduces better practices for creating meaningful value in business. Many of you know of Threadless, the t-shirt company that invites anyone to send in designs for new t-shirts. The community then votes on their favorites. This makes owning and wearing a Threadless tee much more meaningful than a traditionally created tee. The hotel group Joie de Vivre incents its managers on the strength of their relationships as well as their performance. This fosters a productive, sustainable internal culture able to retain the talent it needs to compete. And Simple Shoes has architected a competitive edge in the highly commoditized shoe industry by being a standard for sustainable materials. Simple Shoes are therefore much more meaningful for a green values-based consumer. These examples embody just a few of the many trends in business today that promote the idea of businesses creating a higher order of value for its customers, employees, and partners. Some of these trends are becoming mainstream, while others are just emerging. In addition to these trends, there are many examples of businesses creating a higher order of value than the norm in their industry that are not part of the general trends. The approaches used are often invisible to those outside the industry that creates value in one of these ways. We've chosen to call the higher order of value that all these approaches talk to as meaningful value. In our research to date of hundreds of businesses in different industries, of what's going on in academia and what we also know from our years in practicing design and executive coaching, we've discovered 231 distinct ways of creating meaningful value. We believe that for businesses to compete in today's markets, they must become adept at creating meaningful value across their business models. We use these 231 diverse better practices as inspiration to help companies see opportunities for creating meaningful value that would otherwise be difficult to discover. By doing this, we help leaders develop the innovation strategies needed to compete and grow in today's markets. Let's share some more examples of these better practices to give you a sense of the range of them and how they relate either to what is offered to a market or how the company operates. There are three types of better practices for meaningful value. There are those that align to the deep personal values of individual customers, employees, and partners. We call these M2I, or meaningful to the individual. Patients Like Me is an example of the better practice of evoking genuine empathy. They enable patients recovering from serious illnesses to talk to each other, to share their experiences and insights. Vert Catering is an example of triggering a fond cultural memory. They use 1920s British delivery bicycles to deliver their organic sandwiches. Tom's Shoes gives a free pair of shoes to a child in need for every pair they sell. You hear about the story of how Tom grew up in Argentina, saw the need, and built the company. The story within this brand is one of the better practices for awareness building. Remade, a San Francisco-based company, takes your old leather jacket when it's worn out, with all of the memories from the years of use, and reuses the leather for bags, which of course remind you of your history. Little Pickle Press enables meaningful learning through the use of its books, which help parents teach adult subjects to kids in ways that they can engage with. For individual employees, Continental Airlines allows its reservation agents to work from home offices. Yelp has a VP of People dedicated to ensuring employees are able to reach their full potential. And being an author as a partner to Harper Studio means you get 50% of revenues, not the traditional 7 to 10%, and the experience of writing the book is captured. Then there are those better practices that are meaningful to people because they connect individuals to a broader whole, in this case to communities that they have an affinity towards. We call these better practices M2C, or meaningfulness to the community. Zipcar is a great example of enabling a community of people who want a car share because they believe there should be fewer cars on the road. The biodegradable diapers from G-Diapers so inspire those that buy them that G-Moms and G-Dads help distribute the product in stores across the US for free. Seeing mums and dads do this distribution is notably personal. Cool House delivers ice cream in old pink and silver male Jeeps and engages the community by tweeting where they are, and finding out where people would like them to be. Nine Inch Nails triggers their communities by distributing their music for free, making money instead from concerts and merchandise from the loyal fans. And at Alvarado Bakery, because of profit sharing, a worker can earn up to $65,000 a year baking bread. Finally, there are those better practices that connect people to the broader perspective of caring for the environment. Of course, there are many better practices here. We're sharing just a couple of examples. Sony Green, Sony's recycling program, was a notable commitment to recycling as they accepted all brands with no purchase requirements. And Burgerville, based in Oregon, the organic McDonald's, has built a local ecosystem of organic food supply partners. So all these better practices talk to the next level of value creation in business, value that's built on top of today's expectations for quality, service, price, etc. If we look at this in a historical context, we remember how standardization was the main thrust of value creation in the industrial age. In the 70s and 80s, Deming and others led as the focus moved to a higher order of value, that of quality and continuous improvement. In the 80s and 90s, the value created by business needed to move to a higher level still in order to compete. The focus on the voice of the customer uncovered insights and ideas for value that satisfied individuals' needs and desires more deeply. We see the current trends of meaningful value creation as what is needed to compete now that markets are saturated with products and services that are not seen as unique enough. As businesses master meaningful value creation, they can effectively differentiate their products and services and create the high-performance internal cultures needed to survive. Thanks for watching.